Welcome. It's Wednesday, April 16th, and this is the Property Rundown. My name is Jay Schwartz, and I am a local realtor here in the St. John's metro area. If you don't already have Realtor and you're looking to make a move, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, if you find anything interesting about any of the properties we look at today or any of the concepts that I discuss, please feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your opinion. So without further ado, let's get into the daily market watch. So we have 11 new listings, 3 properties back on market, 3 properties that received a price decrease, 17 under contract, 18 pending, 22 sold, 5 withdrawn, 3 expired, and 1 canceled. So a pretty active day in terms of properties coming off of market and getting to sold. Only a handful of new listings. So let's start looking at those. All right, so the first new listing we have here is 94 Blackler Avenue, St. John's, a 3-bed, 1-bath, 2,000 square foot home for $189,900. I would dare say that this property needs a full remodel. It must be distressed based on that price, listing price. 2,000 square feet for that price is not something you see for a livable home in our market. So second, we have 34A Gorman Avenue, a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot home, semi-detached, listed for $279,900. Okay, that's interesting. I think that's a very busy price range, and I feel like this agent who priced this home kind of priced it at the top where it should eventually land. For 1,400 square feet, this seems a bit high. So it'll be interesting to see if they get what they're looking for, because generally, you know, if you price a little under market value within a reasonable range, you're going to generate a lot more interest, a lot more viewings, a lot more offers, and it should push the sale price to sort of your end destination, whereas they've started there and they might actually lose out a little bit, but this market is surprising day to day. They could still get over asking, but for 1,400 square feet, that would be interesting. Next, we have 56 Queens Road, a condo for $749,900, 2-bed, 3-bath, 2,100 square feet. So this is a high-end condo. Condo fees. Let's just take a quick look because it is a unique property. It's in this beautiful building here. You do have a little bit of parking. Yeah, it's a gorgeous luxury condo, no doubt. Little, yeah, kind of like a combination of dated and modern, but well done, beautifully done. 2 floors, big rooms. Yeah, gorgeous condo. So let's just take a quick look at the condo fee. Oh, doesn't list it. So they didn't list the condo fee, which is curious. Unfortunate, because I'd like to know what it costs. All right, moving on. We have 15 Everest Street, $976,000. A very large home, 2,900 square feet, 4-bed, 4-bath. It looks like it's on a beautiful piece of property. More than likely has maybe a detached garage in the back. Definitely has the attached garage. So at that price range, I suspect it'll sell under asking by a little bit, like maybe 25,000 in term, you know, with respect to the original list price. And here we have a new build, a 3-bed, 3-bath, 3,000 square foot home, lot 4, Spruce Hill, CBS for $828,500. That is, let's see, is that on the high end? Is that a reasonable list price for a new build? So okay, so that is definitely on the higher end for a new build, depending on the finishes inside. If they're using, high-end luxury finishes, then fine, that does justify the price. But if this is just another new build with contractor grade finishes, which are pretty cheap, and then I would say this is overpriced, especially being out in CVS. You can get an equivalent, uh, new build home somewhere in town for, anywhere from $230 to $250 per square foot as opposed to 274. So just something to be aware of if you're looking at new builds. Then we have $359,900, a two apartment, 83 Canada Drive, 4-bed, 3-bath, 1,900 square feet. So this will sell over asking. I think where it's just shy of 2,000 square feet, it should land somewhere around 400,000. That's a highly popular area. People want two apartments in that area. It's definitely going to sell over asking. Then we have 14 Terry Lane, another new build, 3-bed, 3-bath, 3,000 square feet for $669,900. Okay, so in terms of square footage, very, very comparable to Lot 4 Spruce Hill and CVS. And, 3-bed, 3-bath, basically the same. And you can see the drastic difference in list price. Now, this one hasn't even been started, but that's besides the point. Guaranteed they're using contractor grade finishes. So let's see. Divided by 3005. So yeah, this home is $222 per square foot. So I would definitely, they're in two totally different markets, but it's something to consider is the finishes inside and whatnot, and the piece of land as well. But definitely, if you're just looking at the home itself, this is the better deal. Now we have a condominium on 91 Larkhall Street, Unit A411, 2-bed, 1-bath, 663 square feet. So quite a small condo. It's $174,900. I have seen some of these condos before. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, pretty standard. It's a small space for sure. Looks reasonably updated. Yeah, not bad to be honest. And condo fees are $310 per month. So not too bad on the condo fees. They're kind of low mid-range. So for that, if you're looking, that's perfect condo for a student. It's affordable. Um, it's not too big, easy to manage. Next, we have a two apartment, 246 St. Thomas Line Paradise, a 6-bed, 2-bath, 2,300 square foot home, two apartment. So $339,900. Okay. That does seem like it's priced really well. 6 beds is also going to make it super attractive to maybe a larger family that still wants a rental unit. And, you know, it's a little bit slightly out of town, but let's see, where exactly is it? Yeah. Okay, so it's in the deep Paradise neighborhood, but definitely has potential. It should sell over asking. Next, we have 13 Musgrave Street, $499,900. 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,200 square foot home with a double garage. So it's probably just a nice kind of executive home from maybe the early 2000s. Let's have a look. Oh no, 1989. But it looks like it's been redone. Looks nice inside. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's been updated somewhere along the way. Maybe the kitchen in the early 2000s. They've definitely done some lighting recently. Mini splits. Yeah, it's a good home. And it's priced well. Mini split in the basement. Or not the basement. I guess this is like a sunken living room. Yeah, sunken living room. So it's a split level. Here's the basement. Yeah, really nice home. Really gorgeous. Bit of a deal here, to be honest. Great backyard. I think this is a standout property from today. Backs onto some kind of commercial business, but I mean, on the weekends and evenings, you basically have no neighbors. So, yeah, really nice home. That will probably go over asking, I think. It's just pretty nice. So next we have a 2 apartment for $479,900, 32 Adventure Avenue, a 3+2 bedroom, 3 bath, 2,400 square feet, almost 25. So that is priced sort of on the upper end as well. Let's have a quick look. Some of these homes are interesting to see what they're all about. It's pretty basic. Yeah, it must have been built in the last like 7 years, I'd say. It's pretty basic, to be honest. Built in 2014. Okay, so it's a little older than I thought. I think it's priced high, and it might sell a little bit below asking. Like, honestly, I could see it going as low as 450, but at the same time, it could go a little over. I could see it going as high as 485. It really just depends on location. So, oh, this is in Kemount Terrace. That's why. All right, it's definitely going to go over asking. I think it's going to go for 500, 510. That changes everything. Kemount Terrace is just a special place when it comes to 2 apartment homes. All right, so now let's move on to back on markets. We have 312 Babels Road, a 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot home for $279,900. Says semi-detached. That's interesting. Looks like a detached home to me, but maybe that little, maybe that's an attached home. Very strange setup. Okay. Then there is a condo, 27 Rodora Street, 200 and unit 214, 2-bed, 1 bath, 918 square feet for 329.9. And if you're looking at mobiles, we have a mobile for 249,000, 12 Hussey Drive, 3-bed, 1 bath, 1,080 square feet. So that's back on market, and it is listed high. There was a recent sale of a smaller unit for $250,000. So interesting what this will end up selling for. It could go slightly under, but it could also, I can see it going over. I can see it going for 260 even, based on that previous sale of a less desirable unit for exactly $250,000. All right, next we have price decreases. So 58 East Ave Street, a townhouse, 3-bed, 1 bath, 1,600 square feet for 250,000. Okay, interesting. This was only listed pretty recently. They must have had no viewings in order to drop the price that quick. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, they listed high. They listed high, and they realized their mistake. And it's, it's reasonably nice. I wouldn't say it's like drop dead gorgeous. I like that wall. If that's real wood, that's nice. Yeah, they definitely overpriced it. I don't know if I said that when I first looked at it. I think I did, or something like that. They should have priced it more like in line with this. They'd probably still end up getting close to $300,000 in the end, but now it's more attractive. So let's go back. And we have 239 Craig Miller Avenue, a 2-bed, 1 bath, 942 square foot home, $224,900. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. Drop 10,000 from 234.9. Yeah, this is just a interesting unit. It's nice inside. right. And next we got 26 Culver Avenue, St. John's for $175,000. They dropped the price 24,000. Very, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's old. Needs a ton of work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said it would not sell for asking price. Okay. Next, we got solds. Let's look at some solds. 25 Tiffany Lane, Unit 109, condo, was listed for 204.9, sold for 222. Okay, condos. I've noticed condos selling over asking a lot more recently, and so the condo market must be heating up with probably retirees, to be honest. Just people downsizing. Next, we have 8 Ivy's Way, a beautiful home that was listed over $1 million and sold for 950,000. Then we have a new build sold for asking, 44 Indian Pond Estates, CBS. Looks like a 1,000 square foot home. Whoa, okay, I want to see how square footage, how does that work out? 1,000 square foot home, that's pretty small home. Oh yeah, that's pricey. That is an expensive small home. $352 per square foot. It better have gold plated faucets and door handles or something in there. All right. 1 Octagon Heights, Unit 205, another condo, 2 bed, 2 bath, 852 square feet, sold for asking at $280,000. Not so bad. 39 Jill Drive, CBS, 4 bed, 2 bath, 2,000 square feet, 2 apartment, listed for $349, sold for $397.5. Okay, out in CBS, they got over asking. Not quite as drastic of an over asking sale price as you would find in town. And then we have 598 Southside Road, listed for $239,900, sold a little under for $230. Yeah, Southside Road, that makes sense. It's not exactly a great street to live on. 19 Main Road, Bowline, 3 bed, 3 bath, 2,800 square feet, sold a little under asking uh, for 190,000. Looks like kind of like a ranch style bungalow. And here we have 90 Hussey Drive, listed for $185,000, sold for 184. Oof. So most mobile homes are selling over asking, especially on Hussey Drive. It's a pretty in demand area. But I guess this one, did I see this one? I think I did. No. Oh yeah, I did see this one with a client, but he didn't put an offer in. It was pretty small, and yeah, it needed quite a bit of work. So what just happened there? There it is. Yeah, it's 660 square feet, so it is quite small. All right, next we got 3 Gilbert Street, sold under asking by about $23,000. A little 1,200 square foot home with 3 beds, 2 baths downtown. Yeah, that makes sense. And then 584 Old Broadcoat Road, Portugal Cove, 3 bed, 1 bath, 944 square feet. Sold just a touch over asking. 53 Golden Eye Place, Mount Pearl, a 4 bed, 3 bath, 2,800 square foot home. So really a large bungalow, listed for $499.9, sold for $526. So they got $26,000 over asking. They did pretty good. New build sold for list price, 30 Dominic Drive, CBS, 3 bed, 3 bath, 3,481 square feet. See, I'm always interested in these new builds. So this one seems a bit more reasonably priced. Yeah, that's really like per square foot, very reasonable for a new build. 49 Babels Road, listed for $487,500, sold for $475,000. That's a new build, sold below asking. Wow, okay. 24 Blackwood Place, sold for asking. That is a single family home. Interesting. What's going on here? Okay, yeah, that's a complete, that property is a contractor special for that price. And another one over here. They must have been like same owners, just getting rid of some inventory. Then we have 33 Meadowbrook Drive, a 2-bed, 1-bath, 720 square foot home, mobile home, for sold under asking by $4,000. Meadowbrook Drive. I don't know where Meadowbrook Drive is exactly. And this is a strange looking Meadowbrook. Okay, so that's in the Goulds. That's why that one went under asking. The Goulds is not everyone's cup of tea. Not a place where everybody goes. Oh yeah, and this property is also, I read about this property. This property is on leased land, so you own the mobile home, but you do not own the land it's on, which definitely affected its ability to sell. Then we have 9 Westview Avenue, a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot condominium. Again, $269,500, sold considerably over asking by about $30,000 for $290,000. And we got 25 Rodora Street, Unit 207, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, listed for $524,900, and it sold a little over asking as well for $528,000. So yeah, that's several condos selling over asking. We've got 123 Acharya Drive, Paradise, a 3+2 bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot, 2-apartment home, listed for $420,000, sold for $464,500. Yep, that makes complete sense in that area. And they had a pretty good list price, and they ended up with a pretty good result. 62 Bereshaw Street, a 3-bed, 1-bath townhome, listed for $230,000, sold for $270,000. Yeah, if it's half decent inside with that list price, that end result makes total sense. 1,400 square feet. So this is probably comparable to that new listing that we saw. And I bet you, based on this one, let's see what it looks like inside. Pretty clean. I mean, carpet, it's not the newest. I mean, flooring looks like it's all been redone recently. But it's a nice clean home. I bet you the other one sells a little under because they priced it too high to start. And they did well on this one. Sorry. 78 Pennywell Road, listed for $279,900, sold for $310,000. A semi-detached 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,300 square foot home. Sold basically $30,000 over asking. Let's have a quick look. I'm interested in these ones. Yeah, so it's got like a classic vibe to it. Really nice molding on the ceilings. You know, paint colors can be changed if they're not your style, but it's like a nice classic semi-detached St. John's home. That laundry room leaves a bit to be desired. I think we had a look at this one. So yeah, old school bathtub. Yeah. And then finally we have 98 Merrymeeting Road, a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,200 square foot home, listed for $199,900, sold $10,000 below asking, single family. And this is also semi-detached, but it is showing its age, probably has a bit of an awkward layout. Definitely needs some work. All right, so that concludes today's property rundown. I hope you enjoyed it, found it educational, maybe even entertaining. Like I always say, if you're looking for a realtor, please get in touch with me and we can talk about your goals. All right, have a good day. Bye.